Khlieh ya keren hitang bag pada ayu bahagian yang pada na dulu.
Pada itu.
Oh, ini mah. Baik kini pemerintah rukim lah. Dia betul lah. Kadang kecil rumah ni tay deh.
First time it's fairly new because we don't know anything about it yet, so I think it'll be fine, I guess.
Do you think you can crack an entrance exam?
50-50.
Hadirin baka sarkar jela dangshan kalap penteri kamno ya kasi tilane kata common entrance test jongki kena nadu ki PG bat UG dangshan hakini kendiat si layo I kata ka jingklumar khlieh jongki kena puli di bala ele yakane ka entrance test hangne haneu bat gilai I ka jinglum patba bat ka jing penteri yakane ka entrance exam kalong ka ba kamda bet kamda ya renti bat ki bon ki kena ki don ka jingklumar nomor bakarang deh kasian ka baning ngangit ba bon na preng jongi ba pe yakane video ngitip ha ka kata ka CUET hanrei khanang bangin shai khanang bangin tip kham banya shu ke kata ka disadvantage but ki advantage na ka CUET ginya kran ba uwei ni kinong hikai jong ka St Anthony's College bad hadin kata ngin saya letru shaki khana puli ki barang don ki class 12 menta ki ba shan kin sahab ban ya khun yakane ka exams bangin sngothu bangin tip naki hato ki don jing tip kumno ya kata CUET bat ke ka preparation ka jongki ka rukum pen khre ka jongki na mata kan ka examen but let's say ki don ne am kita ki jing pen khre ling ba ki coaching class la ne ki AKA but kumju ha ki college ki ba ki pule ka don ne am kata ka awareness ka ban ai ki khna kumno ba kin so ba kin tip ki papers ki ban mi na mata ka CUET but ki la prepare kumno na mata ka CUET
Kerap sibun hi yang iki kena mau kalau Allah buka opportunity mangilak ban lek kino university.
Ki snow dan jitip es pangkasi itu.
Oh nyala yo snow hi. Gila krek gitu na books and kino hikai do kira yarap yang ki badan kabnet kamu kila hikai kila itu. Kila ya keren hitang bag pada ayu bahagian yang pada na dulu.
Pada itu.
Oh ini mah. Baik kini pemerintah rukim lah. Dia betul lah. Kadang kecil rumah ni tay deh. Hashtag ba kadai ga exams mo ba hila ban yale ban yo room hati university ba kaya maksudnya em vi đang confused kata tem pada nang bahagian yo ni cek kat ba yo hoi
We heard about it in last year. I think one of the sir told us that we have to write CUET these coming years, and I think that I don't know. First time it's fairly new because we don't know anything about it yet, so I think it'll be fine, I guess. Depends on the person, I think, because all have their own capacity and stuff, so I think that's yeah, they like general knowledge and stuff, and mostly the basic that we learn in class 11.
So how confident are you that you're going to be able to crack CUET?
Pretty confident.
After 12, what is your main objective? Like, what do you want to do?
I want to be a chartered accountant. Then I'll probably run a business on the side.
Just heard it last year from our teacher, CUET.
Do you think you can crack an entrance exam?
50-50. Just a little bit, like when some of my seniors told me about it, the CUET exam, how they cracked it and all. In our college, some of my friends, we usually discuss about it, how to crack it and all. I plan on self-studying because I can concentrate more when I self-study instead of coaching. Some say like you need to study like some of my seniors told me about it, and then they told me to study like some 2 or 3 books for that. But I'm still preparing for it right now. In my opinion, I think it's necessary for the CUET exam. We can get more information on how the question will work and all for the college, you know.
Kadika entrance exam.
Hila try ban pulih hinaladi ni pidon plan ban lej coaching class ina.
Tip dadaki ya pha na yeng ta ngan lej hi ba ngan try kat bala naldi ban pulih.
As far as CUET is concerned, it's a mandatory thing. So what has happened is most of the centers did it well. The eyesore was the thing that happened in Nihu, where the student had to go through a lot of difficulties, the trauma that they had to face. Now, as far as the role of the government is concerned, at the state level, the education minister is at the apex body, in terms of education. You have to keep in mind, education is on the concurrent list. So not only the center has a say, even the state has a say. So I think, as an important player in the whole, setup of a, law making process that is there, the government, state government, they can do a lot in terms of education, in order to reduce the burden. So first thing is, as I have already told, like the ground realities should be taken into account. There is just too many people to be handled, by the centers. So the centers should be properly equipped, and a thorough survey has to be done, and so that the students will be not given last minute, time to reach the center. The duration that is given for display of the admit card, that is also a case of concern here, because the admit card is given only one day before, and traveling time is required. That is one thing. And as far as the government is concerned, I feel like all our local student, if the government can have a policy whereby let's say if the ST students are supposed to pay 750 rupees for the first 3 papers, I'm just making it, let's say, I don't know, let's say it's 750 hypothetically, then I think across all students, across all category of students from the state, that 750 should be subsidized by the government, and the government should bear the burden for the 750. Anything above 750 they should pay on their own. That will reduce the financial liability of the parents, especially the hand to mouth parents, for whom they are working as a daily wage labor. 500 rupees is their daily earning. So if you take away 750 rupees, that itself discourages them for appearing for CUT. Already they are not doing well in exam. On top of that, you are asking them to ask for additional money. This time what has happened, many students has not filed for CUT, especially from the rural areas, the weak students, the marginalized student who are from the poor family, they have not appeared. So this time admission also, I don't know, most of the colleges, especially the small colleges, not so well known colleges, they will really have struggle for getting admission, and whether it will be very financially viable for them to run the course also will be doubtful. As far as I know, in our college as well as many of the neighboring college, they have been very proactive. Like even high secondary school I've seen, like where the teachers, the students in the class 10 or class 12, they have, even in our college where the student who are going to apply in Central University for the postgraduate programs, the colleges and the schools have been very proactive in the sense, like they make the student aware about this CUT thing. They give, they go to classes, tell them, give them notice. Some even take extra classes to prepare them for CUT. Some, they have gone, they have given routines and everything. So that is making general awareness about CUT among the of course the NTA and other authorities are doing it, but even at the school level, I think the administration has a big role to play. Many are doing it, but I think more can be done. More can be done there in that area, so that the general awareness among the student with regard to CUT can be increase. Now here, that is from the institutional point of view, right? From the institutional point of view, whether school or colleges, they have been doing, and more can be done. That's what I feel. Now, as far as the student is concerned, now suddenly what will happen is you are in class 12 and you want to get admission in a college. Now you come across an alternative where there are more than 100 courses from which you can choose. There are different universities from which you can choose, and this selection that you're going to make is going to decide your career path in the future. So in such a situation, students are baffled by this, spoiled for choices, you can say, like, so they don't know what to do. So that's where here proper counseling comes into play, right? Now, if you know what your goal is in life, whether you want to go for academics, or whether you want to go for a government job, or whether you want to be an entrepreneur, if you have this broad ideas of little bit of, not the specific, but at least the broad idea of what you're going to do in life, then choosing will be easy. But as we know, especially those from the less privileged classes, those from the poorer section of the society, they don't have any idea, don't any clue of what they are going to do in future. So selection is just random. They are doing it, which is very wrong. So I think there should be proper counseling of the students, so that they can choose a proper career path and make an informed decision with regard to which one to choose, and which are the institutions where they can offer further courses. The downside of CUT as it is implemented now is that as I said, it devalues school and college education, right? At present, the way it is going out, it hardly matters whether you just have a simple pass in the class 10 or class 12 or in a graduation level, and you just sit for CUT, clear, and that is taken as a criteria for admission in higher education. Now, in such a situation, what will happen? School education will lose its value. Somebody will even say like, yeah, that's okay. What is the problem? But I'll tell you, the way school education is designed, it's just not to teach the student about the curriculum that is there, but they do have co-curricular activities. The social skill that the student gets while coming to college, sitting in a classroom, from interacting with friends from different racial backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, economic backgrounds, the activities that is done, in the colleges, the value that is instilled on them by the teacher, that, gives them a 360 round development in their personality. That is very important. A person may be a very good engineer, but may not be a very good person as such. So, that is where, degradation in moral values can take place. And, as a social being, we have to take into account, the role that, schools and colleges play. It's not just, mark sheets that we give in a conduct exam and evaluate student. There is more to it. That is the first thing. So, in terms of, the advantage, what the positive that I see with regard to CUT, the one thing I see is, our students, especially from the northeast, good students whose parents have got a little bit money in their pocket, now can think of getting admission in Delhi University, can think of getting admission in Banaras Hindu University, and compete with other students in different levels. So what I have seen is now their minds are opened, and they are thinking like, yes, we are good as them, the one in the center. So suddenly, that new avenue has opened up, because students are now taking up Delhi University, Punjab University, so tomorrow our students will be doing political science in St. Stephen in Delhi, right? Or doing, commerce in Sri Ram College of Commerce, which earlier they thought it was impossible. But now this new thing has opened. But you still have to keep in mind, only those people with parents who's having a little bit deeper pockets can afford that. You have to keep in mind, in the case of the Northeast, especially in the Meghalaya, there are many parents who doesn't have a pocket at all. So we have to keep that in mind.